Hello, and welcome back to another episode of English for Beginners, the podcast. I am Jasmine, and I am so happy to be here with you today. Today, we're going to tell a very beautiful story about the mind. Have you ever felt like your brain is too loud? Like you are thinking about too many things at once?
Hello, Jasmine. Hello, everyone. Yes, I know that feeling very well. Sometimes my mind feels like a busy street in a big city. There are so many cars, so much noise, and I cannot find a quiet place to sit. Many people call this overthinking. It is a big word, but it just means thinking too much.
That is a great way to describe it, Mark. Today's story is about a young man who suffered from a very noisy mind. He lived a long time ago in a small village. He was young and healthy, but he was not happy. He felt like a prisoner of his own thoughts.
What was he thinking about? Was he worried about money or his job?
He was worried about everything. His mind was like a restless bird. It would fly to the past and pick at his old mistakes. Then it would fly to the future and worry about things that had not happened yet. He could not sleep, he could not eat with joy, and he could not even sit under a tree and enjoy the wind.
That sounds very painful. If you are always in the past or the future, you are never actually here. You miss your own life while it is happening.
Exactly. The young man finally became so tired of his suffering that he decided to go on a journey. He heard about a very wise man, a sadhu, who lived in a temple on top of a very high hill. People said this wise man had the key to peace.
I like this. A journey to a temple is a classic way to start a story. It shows that the young man was ready to make an effort. He wanted to change his life.
He began his climb early in the morning. The path was long and winding. It was not an easy walk, but the young man did not mind the physical pain because the mental pain was much worse. When he reached the top, he saw the temple. It was very quiet. The air was fresh and smells like flowers.
And did he find the wise man?
He did. The sadhu was sitting under a large tree. His eyes were closed. He looked so peaceful, like a calm lake. The young man fell at his feet and cried. He said, "Oh, wise one, please help me. My mind is a storm. I want peace, but I don't know where to find it. I have tried everything."
What did the wise man do? Did he give him a long lecture about philosophy?
No, Mark. Wise teachers usually teach through actions, not just words. The sadhu opened his eyes and looked at the young man with great kindness. He didn't say anything for a long time. Then he stood up and went inside the temple. When he came back, he was carrying a small clay lamp.
A lamp? Like the ones people used before we had light bulbs?
Yes, a simple clay lamp with a little bit of oil and a single flame. The flame was very small and delicate. The sadhu handed it to the young man and gave him a task. He said, "Take this lamp down to the village at the bottom of the hill, then bring it back up to me. But there is one rule. The flame must not go out."
That sounds like a very strange request. The young man wants peace and the teacher gives him a lamp to carry. Why didn't he give him a book to read?
Because the young man didn't need more information. He needed a different focus. The young man was confused, but he agreed. He took the lamp in both hands. He knew that if he moved too fast, the wind would blow out the flame. If he tripped, the oil would spill.
So he had to be very, very careful.
He had to be very, very careful. He started walking down the hill. Almost immediately, a cool breeze blew. The young man jumped. He quickly covered the flame with his hands. He realized he could not think about his past mistakes while he was protecting the light. He had to watch the flame with his whole heart.
This is interesting. His focus moved from his internal noise to an external light.
Precisely. As he walked, he saw other people on the path. There were pilgrims, children playing, and monkeys jumping in the trees. Usually, the young man would look at these people and judge them, or wonder what they thought of him. But today, he didn't even look up.
He couldn't look up, right? Because if he looked at a monkey, he might drop the lamp.
Exactly. The children were laughing and shouting, "Look at the man with the lamp!" But the young man didn't listen. The sun began to set, and the sky turned a beautiful orange and purple. Usually, he would worry that it was getting dark, but today he only cared about the light in his hands.
He reached the village eventually, I assume.
He did. He walked through the busy village market. It was loud and crowded. People were selling fruit and shouting prices. There were dogs barking and carts moving through the streets. But the young man saw none of it. He was in a bubble of focus. He turned around and started the long climb back up the hill.
Climbing a hill while holding a lamp must be very difficult for the body. His arms must have been tired.
They were shaking, Mark. His legs were sore, and sweat was dripping down his face. But he didn't stop to think, "Oh, I'm so tired," or "I wish I was home." He only thought, "Keep the flame alive." Finally, he reached the temple. The sadhu was waiting for him.
Was the flame still burning?
It was. It was small, but it was bright. The young man handed it back to the sadhu and sighed of relief. He felt like a champion. The sadhu smiled and asked him a question. "Tell me, my son, what did you see in the village? Did you see the beautiful sunset?"
And the young man said no, right?
He said, "No, Guruji, I saw nothing but the flame." Then the sadhu asked, "Did you hear the birds? Did you think about your problems from yesterday?" The young man shook his head and said, "I had no time for those things. My mind was only on the lamp."
That is the big aha moment. The lamp was just a tool to keep his mind in the present.
Yes, the sadhu said to him, "My son, you have found the secret of peace. When your mind was focused on the flame, there was no room for the past or the future. The past could not touch you, and the future could not scare you. You were fully here, and you were fully now."
I love that. It is such a simple lesson, but so hard to do in real life. We don't carry lamps anymore, but we carry phones and worries and lists of things to do.
We do, but the sadhu told him that he could live his whole life like that. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. Give your complete attention to whatever is right in front of you. If you are washing the dishes, don't think about the work you have to do tomorrow. Just feel the water and the soap.
That is called mindfulness, isn't it? It means being mindful of the present.
Exactly. The young man understood. He realized that peace was not a destination he had to reach. Peace was a natural state that appears whenever we stop running away from the present moment. He went back to his village as a changed man.
Did he ever get worried again?
Of course he did. He was still a human being, but whenever his mind started to fly away like that restless bird, he would imagine the lamp. He would bring his focus back to his breathing or the task in his hands. He learned to guard his mind like he guarded that flame.
This story is very powerful because it tells us that we have the power. We don't need a wise man to give us peace. We just need to change where we put our attention.
That is the message we want to share with our listeners at English for Beginners, the podcast. You might be worried about your English level. You might be thinking, "I made a mistake yesterday," or "I will never be able to speak perfectly."
But those are just past and future thoughts. If you are listening to this podcast right now, just focus on the words you are hearing. Enjoy the sound of the language. This moment is the only moment where you can actually learn.
Beautifully said, Mark. Learning a language is actually a great way to practice being in the present. You have to listen carefully to every sound. You have to focus on the meaning.
Jasmine, I have a question. How can a beginner practice this lamp method in their daily life?
It is very easy. Pick one small thing you do every day. Maybe it is brushing your teeth or drinking your morning coffee. For those 3 minutes, do not think about anything else. Just feel the brush or taste the coffee. That is your lamp for the day.
I am going to try that tomorrow morning with my breakfast. I usually watch the news or check my phone while I eat, so my mind is in 10 different places. Tomorrow, I will just eat my toast and be there.
I think you will find that the toast tastes much better when you are actually there to eat it. Our listeners can do this too. When you are doing your English exercises, don't worry about the exam next month. Just look at the sentence in front of you.
That makes the task feel much smaller and easier to handle.
Exactly. The young man in the story felt that his whole life was a burden, but when he had to carry the lamp, his world shrank to a small circle of light. That small circle was manageable, it was peaceful.
We often think that peace will come when all our problems are solved, but the truth is problems are always there. Peace comes from how we look at them.
Yes, as the sadhu said, anxiety lives in the future, depression lives in the past, but life only lives in this moment, and this moment, when you truly meet it, is always enough.
I feel more peaceful just talking about this story. It's a good reminder for me too. We are all students in this life, aren't we?
We are, Mark, and we are so happy to be on this journey with all of you. Remember, your English does not have to be perfect for you to enjoy the process. Every word you learn is a little bit of light for your lamp.
Thank you for telling us this story, Jasmine. It was very inspiring. To everyone listening, we hope you can find your lamp today.
Before we go, we want to hear from you. What is one thing that makes your mind feel restless, and what is one activity that helps you feel present?
You can write your answers in the comments or send us a message. We love reading your stories, and it helps us feel connected to you.
If you enjoyed this episode of English for Beginners, the podcast, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us reach more people who are searching for a peaceful way to learn English.
And don't forget to share it with a friend. Maybe you know someone whose mind is a little too noisy today. This story might be the gift they need.
We'll be back next week with another episode to help you grow your English skills and your confidence.
Until then, stay in the moment. Be kind to yourself.
And keep practicing. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.